people like to wax philosophical on how great the old days were at the Olympia and how much better the show was at the Mandalay Bay. Lol. Do you realise the expo was held in ballrooms back then? That's how small it was, able to fit into ballrooms. The expo we have at the convention centre is 10 times the size and 10 times more profitable. So the question I'd like to ask you...
Is that from Bob?
Bob thinks that
so Bob's basing the Olympia's growth over the years on just the expo, is he? Not the contest. I thought it was meant to be about the contest. That's like judging the Super Bowl on the halftime show. Like, the Super Bowl, greatest show on earth. You know, it's getting better every year because didn't you see the halftime show? We've got more acts now and stuff. And yeah, the expo could be bigger. So the convention centre on the other side of town is at the Orleans where they stay, which is shitty. Yeah, they were ballrooms, but yet it was like, you say call them a ballroom, but yet it was still like a convention ball-sized ballroom. It's not just like a little ballroom type thing. It was big and it was full to capacity back then of an actual expo vendors. These days, okay, the expo's bigger, but yet you got other shit going on in there. You might have powerlifting going on, you might have whatever's going on, pole dancing and all the other stuff. There's so many different events going on in there. It's not all about, like I said, an expo back then was about vendors and booths. Now they've got other stuff going on there, so now they need a bigger place. But yet, like I said, it's on the other side of town, so it's pretty inconvenient for a lot of people to get to and from. A lot of people will sometimes just go to the expo and not even do the shows. So again, if you're judging saying, okay, the Olympia back then to the Olympia now, you're judging the whole Olympia on the expo. So, and notice at the end he said more profitable.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
And also too, he said, the prize money's up to $1 million.
In total.
Okay.
That's when you add up all the prize money, men's, women's, ladies, and all combined, yeah, it's 1 million.
Okay, but back in, I mean, you know, I don't like saying the good old days, but previously when you were over there, late 90s, like what was the bodybuilding had more hype, there was more
exactly
more interest.
You'd still actually see it on TV and that sort of thing, and like I said, it was around everywhere. Like I said, it was more, like I said, more people were into it. But now, like I said, you can go to Vegas sometimes a week before the Olympia, you wouldn't even know it's in town. You know, other acts are coming to town and they got billboards up everywhere and stuff. The Mr. Olympia you barely hear about before or after. So, you know, bodybuilding's never going to be mainstream, I know that. And like I said, it's like a niche type sport and like, you know, got its own little following, but still, to me, it's not progressing at all. It's one of those sports that, you know, okay, you can talk about the 90s, the 2000s till now, and now it hasn't grown at all. Okay, you can say the prize money total is $1 million. Well, it's okay, you got more prize money, but still the sport hasn't grown. So, you know, like I said, the bodies are looking worse, so to me the sport's going backwards in the way it looks, and like Arnold said, and they're rewarding that, so they need to stop rewarding that. And like you said, the judges, people need to speak up to the judges and speak up to Jim Mannion and say, hey, we don't like this look, because young people don't want to look like that. You know, like I said, I can respect the guys for their hard work, but if I was a young kid looking up to those people, I wouldn't be impressed. You know, I was impressed by, like I said, the Paul Dillettes, the Tom Platzes, and all the guys back in the day. Sergio had the mass but had the small waist. These days, to me, they just look, I said, I had the same respect as for a big powerlifter. You know, they've got big stomachs, but they're strong and muscular and can lift weights and stuff. So I said, you wouldn't, like I said, even He-Man, well, I said, I looked like him. You know, he was muscular, had a tiny waist.
Yeah.
If He-Man was just all big and blocky and whatever, I'd be like, yeah, okay, he's got muscles, but he just looks like a fridge with muscles, so it wouldn't impress me. So that's why I said these other classes are taking off, where people can make fun of the athletic classes and stuff like that, where the guys are a lot thinner, but yet they come in shape and look healthy and athletic, and young kids can relate to that more now, more that Frank Zane look. So,
and back to the money side of things, like I remember you saying in the past that guys like Mike Matarazzo and Tom Platz, although they weren't very successful, they still made a decent...
Oh yeah, like I said, you can get a lot of guys, I said, it's not actually the guys who are winning the shows. You know, some of the guys who aren't winning the shows, but yet they got a good fan base,
yeah.
They're down to earth, the fans can relate to them because they don't put themselves on a pedestal, they don't have a huge ego, so the fans like them. So if they go somewhere to give seminars, if they were to bring out a DVD, if they were to do whatever, fans will go buy whatever merchandise they have, T-shirts, DVDs, they'll go see them at seminars. So like I said, you have these guys that are winning shows, but yet you can have them go somewhere. People won't go just to see them because they don't like their attitude, or once they do get to know them, they don't like them. So, in the long run they don't make money, and then when they do finish retired from the sport, they don't make a lot of money because people aren't interested in them. Whereas like Tom Platz to this day still making money from the sport. People like that who have that charisma to them, and like I said, people can relate to them and know that they're good guys. Like I said, they're still making money now after all these years, and a lot of these guys sadly today, if they were to retire, they probably wouldn't make a dollar from the sport again if they didn't invest their money wisely. So
Yeah, and do you think it was easier back then to make a living because there was a larger base in bodybuilding and
probably, like I said, it's more like in magazines. Well, magazines are still around now, but they're not like they used to be. Magazines used to be this thick. Now they're getting thinner and thinner and fitter, and they're going more to the fitness side of things again. So it's hard to say. You know, it's in companies now. Whereas back in the old days, a lot of the big guys had sponsors, but now you might have a few of the big guys have sponsorships, and you go to a lot of expos now, and they just have like fitnessy type people sponsored, not actually big bodybuilders. And same for the women. You go to these booths now, and they just have girls with fake boobies in little clothes standing there to get people to come over. They don't really have. It's very rarely that you see top female bodybuilders with good contracts anymore and stuff like that. So it just doesn't happen. So to me, bodybuilding is not progressing the way it should be at all. So they're doing something wrong, so they need to sit down and work out where they're going wrong.
yeah, and maybe we need to adjust the $1 million prize money for inflation.
Probably, yeah. That's really.
And
I said, well, look how long it's taken to even go up, you know. So it's like I said,
and
the
also
cost of living goes up a lot quicker.
and also, is that being split over like more, you know,
Yeah.
212?
Yeah, they said it's all like, all the money combined. So, and like I said, they have increased the winners' money, as I said, but still, they've given money out to auto competitors, but still not enough. Or like I said, it's not split evenly really, because you look at the prize money breakdowns, it breaks down pretty quick, you know. So, like I said, you can go still sit on the bench in a football match and get 180,000 a year. So, like I said, there's only a handful of guys who can make a living from training, like eat, sleep, train. So,
Yeah.
really, no, bodybuilding's not going anywhere really.